Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome back to another episode, a follow-up to what we did yesterday. We talked about the reaction to the Under 16 games, and here we are now talking about the quarterfinal draw that came out today. Well, we've got Knayha back again because continuity matters. So Knayha's back.
Yes,
Knayha, welcome.
thank you. Thanks. We were spot on, right?
Well, I know. You
Wow.
know what? A few things we'll talk about, but I mean, just one thing. One of our regular viewers said that how do I manage to get Jack Grealish on the show every time? So I think they think it's Jack Grealish, just so you know. Yeah.
The funny thing about it is that the funny story about it is like when I went for the haircut and stuff, that was exactly what the look was intended to be actually.
No, it's supposed to
So
be Jack Grealish.
even if he's making fun of me, I'm fine because I'm like it's a checkbox of what I intended to do.
Yeah,
So
I don't think he's making fun of you. I think it's just it's a complimentary hairstyle. Although when you do the bun thing, you don't look like Jack Grealish though.
I know.
Yeah, you gotta keep it like that, and then you do look like Jack Grealish. Anyway, yeah. So I was gonna say I didn't say it. Can I said it? We were right. We're right on a lot of things.
You were right. You were
So three
absolutely
things. I
right.
got three
I'm
things
like,
right. And that's not fully right, but I got three things right. I got it right that City, Bayern, and Liverpool would not play each other. None of them are going to play each other. I got that right.
check.
I got it. I got Bayern against Real against Chelsea. That was my prediction. I got that right. Even though I didn't say my team, but that was my prediction. Real against Chelsea. I got that right, and I got Benfica against Liverpool right. Definitely. And I didn't get it right, but I'm happy to see City against Atletico. So yeah, let's just start with that. Let's start with City against Atletico.
But then still, I think you did say that you wanted to see that match at least.
I didn't want to see it. Yeah, I didn't think it would
You were
happen. But that was one of the matches that I'm not going to claim credit
well,
for that. I'm
well,
not going to
gift delivered.
yeah. It's just a gift. I'm not going to claim. I'm not going to claim credit for that. I'm not going to do that. But no, but yeah, let's talk about City against Atletico. Yeah, I think that's one of the best. I think that's the best matchup of the run. That is, I know Chelsea playing Real Madrid, but I think that's the matchup of the run for me anyway. The most intriguing match.
Absolutely. I simply say no. And I was thinking about what you said yesterday, and I was like, he's right. Like we've never seen them play, or like this is a completely different matchup. Like, and Simeone has faced Pep, but with Barcelona, and I think he's played with Barca, with the Bayern as well. But Bayern and Atletico have.
Well, Bayern Atletico have they? I can't remember. I cannot remember. I don't think they have. They might have.
I have a very vague memory that I've seen.
I think they might have done one of the years that Atletico made it to the final. I think they might have.
Yes,
they might have.
And I think and that's kind of what I remember. But but this was kind of completely fresh. So we've never seen this kind of. So I was like, why not bring it on? And it's also a fresh challenge for the City team as well to kind of finally, it's not going to be a walk in the park. Simeone is not. He knows how to get in the head of players and managers and stuff. He's aggressive and it's like you counter and so on. But then this is very interesting. I really like the matchup. For me it's still I still feel the Chelsea Real Madrid draw is the one that catches the most of my eye, because it again goes to what you said about the comments when you're saying that they either want Chelsea to go out very early, and that's why they've and this is the marquee clash in a way. But then this is pretty so because we don't have any like past to go back, right, to the City Atletico match. They can only say that they have beaten one side of Manchester. Can they beat the other side of Manchester? And that's the only thing you can talk about this game. But I feel this could be unexpected, and I still don't see that City losing. But then crazy things have happened.
I don't see City losing either. I don't see City losing either. But there's something there for Atletico to think about, is the fact that Crystal Palace didn't concede a goal for 180 minutes. Now, they don't play the same way, but what it shows is that if you have a good defensive structure, which Crystal Palace do, then you can keep City out. And I'm just interested to see what will happen if City, go through like maybe 60 minutes of the first game or 70 minutes and they haven't scored a goal. How do they react to that? Like, do they start getting frustrated? Because Atletico can do that. They can frustrate you to the extent that you then start lashing out. You kind of lose focus on the game. So that can happen. I mean, it's just, again, it's not that I'm, a lot of people might think, oh, well, I'm biased against City or whatever. It's not. I just want to see, you want to see teams getting challenged. You want all teams getting challenged. And that's just what it is. I want to see a challenge. And that's what it is. And then if City come out of it, fair play to them. They do well. They come out of it, they win that. That's what you want at the end of the day. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's the game I'm not going to say that. That's the game I'm looking forward to. City against Atletico. That's the one that I want to see. But I think City will go through as well. I think it will 3-1 on aggregate. to City. That's what I'm thinking.
Interesting.
Yeah, 3-1 because I think Atletico will get a goal. And I think then the question is, will they get it first? Will they get it second? But my bigger concern is how are they going to react to getting that goal? Because against United, you can get a goal and you can set up shop and you can come away with a win. You can do that. But against City, that's probably not the most. That's not a guarantee that you can shut up shop and still win the game. So it'll be interesting to see how he changes that. But I do like what I saw from Atletico. Some of the play that they had was good. So I'll be interested to see how City cope with that challenge. I think they will though. So I'm going 3-1. I get to City. What do you think? What do you think is going to be the score?
I think it's going to be 5-0.
5-0. I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
red card in first leg. Like somebody gets a red card, and then City just walk in the park.
Even if that, I don't think it will be 5-0 because I don't think City do 5 goals.
No, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be 2-1. It's a 2-1. It's like a 1-1 draw, like away for City, and then they will 1-0 at home, and they kind of hold off or 2-1 in my mind. But then City go through.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Yeah. Let's talk about Chelsea and Real Madrid because I mean we spoke about that as the market. I think that's the mainstream tie. There's one that the football people and then the other the mainstream one. Chelsea versus Real Madrid, that's the mainstream tie. You know what? I'm actually disappointed that this one came out, and I know this was the only way it could have come out. But I'm disappointed because Chelsea and Real Madrid is one of those fixtures you don't see often. I mean, when it happened last year, I think it was only the third time or the second time that these teams had played. It's not a fixture now. Again, it's we're having 2 years in a row. I hope it doesn't become another United PSG or another Bayern Arsenal. I really don't want it. I think some fixtures should remain, sanctified, and this was one of those. I hope it doesn't become a feature. But anyway, it's happened. That's a draw. It's fine. But yeah, that's my disappointment.
But it's kind of what you said as well. That's the marquee. They because it was when you said it made a lot more sense. Like when you said Liverpool, Bayern, and
City
will not get like the big. They won't have a marquee clash. It will kind of they want them to go through so that you have for the semifinal you have Bayern playing Liverpool or City in a way. And then they're expecting that it's going to be a City Liverpool final, but then it makes sense. So, and also with Chelsea and Real Madrid, it seems like this is a very it's again goes to like a team who's struggling, like who's been carried by Benzema in a way, Real Madrid, or how they've kind of slowly come up with how they're scoring, and then Chelsea, of course. They have their whole turmoil with the whole sale and so on, so they need to deal with a lot of more. And the thing about Champions League is like it's still later, so it's not and things develop. You get further sanctioned or something, and then further get curbed. Maybe they get a new owner within these games as well, and you don't know what's going to happen further. But then on the footballing side, this is of course a hazard game.
Yeah, the storyline of Eden Hazard, isn't it? Yeah. Well, the City Atletico game could be called the Rodri game in some ways, as Rodri's going to come back. The Aguero derby as well. But I think the Chelsea Madrid game will be interesting because Madrid do have a fantastic midfield. But Chelsea do have the advantage with if their wing backs are fit, if they have Reece James fit, then I think Chelsea do have that advantage as well because Reece James can exploit that. I do feel Madrid have the edge. I don't know why. I just feel that Madrid have the edge in this one. I think there's just too much going around Chelsea. A game of this magnitude, to have a game of this magnitude now might be a little bit too much, but you never know. You can't write Chelsea off, and I'm certainly not going to do that. But I just feel Madrid have a slight edge just because of everything that's
happening around the club.
Because they're coasting in the league. They are obviously had a great comeback in the Champions League, so they're kind of doing well. I think Chelsea, just with everything going around, might find that difficult. So that's what that is for me. But it's still excited. It's an exciting matchup. There's still a bit of a rarity about it. So it's something to be enjoyed, something to be appreciated, and so we'll definitely enjoy it. Swolan, what do you think? What do you think it's going to be? How do you think it's going to be?
I think it's Real Madrid 3-1.
3-1. Okay.
I think that 1-0. Maybe it could also be they're losing 1-0 away Real Madrid, and they come back and Bernabeu 4-3.
Yeah, and the lightning doesn't always strike twice, but
you can hope for it.
Yeah, this is funny. I think it will be 2-1 to Madrid, or maybe 3-2, 2-1 or 3-2, because I just feel like it'll be a draw in Stamford Bridge, and then Madrid will win it at home. I think that's how it will be. I don't think Madrid will lose either tie.
Okay.
But that's what I think. I don't know. People can surprise, but yeah, it's hard to call that one. It's very difficult to call. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Chelsea had trouble and all that." I don't buy that. I think it's just a very hard one to call because as a team, Chelsea probably are better than Real Madrid, in my opinion. I think Chelsea as a team, they're better. I think Madrid still have a few issues, but just everything that's mentally that's going around. It just feels Madrid are more stable and a little bit more cohesive, whereas Chelsea, the injuries that they've had, the things that they've had, the uncertainty, I think they'll probably be a little bit, that could have impacted them. So Madrid's experience could win out over Chelsea.
Comes back, yeah. But that's what I'm thinking. Like, but more, it's majorly like how people kind of what's happening around the club. That will start affecting, and I think that's, I don't know. It didn't look like when they played the last game, but then it just because they're also thinking about how they don't want to lose the Premier League third spot or just slip up. So it might be a case of like choosing your battles in a way right now. Like,
well, I think Chelsea have the squad depth that they don't need to choose one or the other.
They could be like
they're in 3 competitions. I think they have the squad depth to cope with that. I just feel it's not the depth. I think it's just the mental side of it, of what will happen. But Madrid did lose to Chelsea last season, so there is a little bit of a thing there as well. Maybe that might play on the minds as well. You never know. You never know how football works, and it's still at that time. It's still too early to be making predictions because we still have 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. You never know. Benzema might pick up an injury on national duty. He's going for the internationals with France. You never know. Benzema might get injured. Then what do you do? Modric might get injured. What do you do? So things can change, right? So you never know. Lukaku might get injured. Well, that will make a difference to Chelsea. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, it won't make a difference.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just.
Kai Havertz is like is owning Lukaku right now.
Yeah, and I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just pulling Lukaku's leg a little bit there, because they're just bantering Lukaku. And then of course we'll talk about Bayern against Villarreal. Now I didn't expect that. I thought Bayern would not get the City were going to get Villarreal. Bayern got Villarreal. That's it's interesting side of the draw. Actually, Bayern, Villarreal, Liverpool, Benfica. It's almost like UEFA, like, well, we want Bayern, Liverpool in the semi-final, so let's give them the two easiest ties possible to get them to the semis. And since we want Chelsea, Madrid, or whatever, or City, Madrid, or whatever, so because City, so we'll give City a little bit of a tougher one against Atletico, so they have an theoretically easier. Well, they have the easier route in the semi-final. Bayern, so they have the theoretically easier team to face. But no disrespect for Chelsea or Real Madrid, by the way. I don't intend that. I'm not saying that's a 4-1 conclusion by any means. I'm not saying that, but when you compare. But anyway, Liverpool, Bayern. Liverpool. We'll start with Bayern. Bayern, Villarreal. Do you think Villarreal can pose a threat?
No, I don't think so. No. It's the Champions League is a different. Like Bayern plays as a different animal in Champions League. I think they showed that in their last game. They needed a result. They kind of thumbed the result, basically kind of tattooed it all over the park there. So I think Champions League, Bayern are a force to reckon with. Even with their home form being or their Bundesliga form being a little vary now and then, you can't trust them. But then Champions League is pretty rock solid. So I will say Villarreal will score. I don't know how, like 1 or 2, but then Bayern will win this like with a good margin.
I mean, I think so too. I think Bayern should come through with this one fairly easily. The good thing is that they are kind of struggling in the league a little bit. Not struggling, I mean, relative struggle.
The form is like
it's a little bit up and down. So that's actually a good thing in a way, because it means that they'll have to be on it even in the Champions League. So that's good for them. They need that. But they should have enough to see off Villarreal. I think Villarreal have done well to get to this point, but they really, it would be a real shock if they didn't go through. And I think the same thing can be said for Liverpool. I'm not even going to do a score prediction for that because quite frankly, I don't even.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see that kind of.
Yeah, and the same thing with Liverpool, Benfica. Here's the thing though. We always keep saying about City getting easy draws. I don't know who Liverpool have paid off this season to get easy draws as well. Like it's almost like in the quarterfinals. Unless they, because they've got Porto in the past, they've got Benfica now. I know they got Real Madrid last season and they went out promptly. But I think Liverpool, I don't know. Maybe Liverpool have been like, we need some easy draws as well. But they got Benfica. But I predicted. I thought they'll get Benfica,
Yeah.
so it kind of seemed that way. But I'm just kidding. Obviously, what Liverpool, I know they've not paid anyone off or anything like that. I just feel that's how the algorithms and the science works of that. But again, nice, interesting. I mean, it should be an easy game for Liverpool. Probably will look to win it in the first leg itself, and then rest a few players for the second leg.
I don't know if I don't know how serious is Trent's injury. Because I just got I was just reading Trent.
Oh, that's called the international break injury. That's what it's called. It's a hamstring. It's called the international. There's an international break coming up. Liverpool are playing a championship team. You get him injured, then you don't have to take him. You don't put him on for the international break, and then miraculously, when Liverpool are playing on April 1st and 2nd, whoever they're playing, he'll be back. So I mean, again, it's a conspiracy theory, but I believe that's what's going to happen. Don't be surprised if Trent is playing the first game back after the international break. That's
then they're going to finish this game in the first leg itself. Whatever they play, they'll just thump 5 or 4, and then just be park the bus, or not park the bus, even just kind of get their second spot, because they can play 2 squads right now.
They'll play some second stringers. Rest Salah, Mane, whoever. Keep them fresh for the league games. Because I do believe the first leg, actually, if you look at it, the first leg that they play is April 6th, 5th or 6th, right? And then they play the second leg is the 13th or the 13th. After that, and then after that, they've got 2 games, and the week after their second leg, they've got to be United. Now, it's not they'll win that one, but they'll want to play their first teamers for that game. They'll want to have their first teamers fresh for that one, just so that they can beat them properly. So so therefore, so that'll be a good way to get them some rest in between those games. So because they're gonna play 5 games in 2.5 weeks or whatever, so at least you can get a great break in between. That would be good. Again, I'm not being disrespectful to Benfica. I'm not saying that they don't have a chance. They could do something, but it's just looking at the relative quality. The fact is that Liverpool now are in a zone where they just feel like they find a way to get results. Even against Arsenal, Arsenal didn't play badly. Just found a way to win. They just know how to do that. So that's what I feel will happen. Might be wrong. I'll be happy. I'll be the happiest person in the world if Benfica pull off a shock result. But well, no, that's not. It's the hope that kills you. So I don't want to keep any hope. I don't know, but I don't want to keep any hope. So yeah.
I don't think there is any hope. There's no point kind of talking just kind of falsely propping this up. It's a clear win for Liverpool. Let's just park this up and just kind of.
It should be.
And then let's see who. And then I would rather say let's talk who could they draw in.
So the semi-final draws are done. By the way, again, I got that right as well. I'll take half credit for that because the semi-final draws are done. I said it would be a Liverpool Bayern semi-final. That's how it was going to be, and that's what's happened. It will be a Liverpool Bayern semi-final, and City will play either Chelsea or Madrid when they get through. If they get through Atletico, we could have a Madrid derby in the semi-finals. That would be something. Or we could have City Madrid or City Chelsea or Atletico Chelsea again. That would be another one. So
City Chelsea. So if you say City Real Madrid and Bayern Liverpool, that's a good match.
Those will be the 2 sort of sides. So the City Chelsea, a rematch for the Champions League final would be interesting as well, or 2 legs this time instead of 1. Might be one to keep an eye on, but but I think the Liverpool Bayern one, obviously that's the dream match. That's the one that everybody's waiting for. So we'll see that. You know what? Bayern have had an easy run as well. Let's just be honest. Bayern have had an easy run. They played Salzburg. Now they're playing Villarreal. So let's not be biased as well. They've got an easy run as well to the semis. So that's true as well. That we need. That point needs to be made as well. That they have also had an easy run. Others have had it, but they've also had it this year. So yeah, they have no excuses to not give it the all in the semi-final to be complaining about anything. So. Anyway, that's the reactions. That's what we think. We'll just quickly touch note on the Europa League and the Conference League. So we're not going to go through each one. But Barcelona playing Eintracht Frankfurt, that's a tasty one. I do like the idea of Atlanta playing Leipzig. I said that, and that's a fantastic match for anybody who loves attacking football. If you like attacking football, high intensity, that's the game that you want to watch. I think that will be the Dollarama discount version of what we might see in Liverpool versus Bayern. I think this is like the low cost version of that.
The cheaper ticket, yeah.
Yeah, the appetizer. So you can watch that one, and then you can be like, okay, so you can kind of know how they do, right? That's the preseason for the main thing. So you get yourself ready, and then you watch Liverpool against Bayern, and you kind of know that, and that's what that will be, a fantastic match. Do you think? I mean, again, same thing. West Ham and Rangers also have, West Ham have got Lyon, which I think is an easier tie, theoretically speaking. I think it's one that they will enjoy. Rangers are playing Praga. Do you see West Ham and Rangers making it to the semis of the Europa League?
I think so. I just don't know about Lyon. I've not followed them, how they've been doing all this season.
They have been inconsistent. They haven't been like they are fighting for Champions League spots, but at the moment they are inconsistent. They haven't really been able to have built. Yeah, they get good results, they get bad results. So they're very up and down this season, from what I can tell.
Yeah. So I think it's I think it's very pretty clear for West Ham, Rangers in the semifinals, and then we have Leipzig and Barcelona playing Leipzig or Atlanta, like playing Barca. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, this could look like Barca and West Ham in the finals.
Yeah, at the moment that's the way the draw is, right? So yeah, it will be basically the semifinals will be quarterfinal one against so Leipzig, Atlanta will play Braga. Well, no, so it's basically whoever wins. So basically Leipzig or Atlanta can play will play Braga or Rangers. Barcelona against West Ham could be the semifinals.
That's not even that's interesting.
Yeah. So if Barcelona and West Ham win the games, they'll play in the semifinals. So that's
basically whoever wins that game wins the Europa League. Basically.
Could be, yeah. It's a bold claim, but yeah, it could be the case. Yeah, it could be. I don't want to be disrespectful, but yeah, it's possible. Yeah. It's definitely possible. It's but I don't know. West Ham fans might prefer playing Barcelona at the Nou Camp than having to play them in the final. I don't know. Maybe they would have preferred playing them in the final, but maybe they'll be like, well, at least we get to go to the Nou Camp, right? If we can make it, that's a glamour.
Exactly.
You don't get that opportunity as a West Ham fan often. So it's something that I'm sure they will relish. That'll be a wonderful game if we get to see that. And again, same with the Conference League. Just a quick roundup there as well. Not really much to talk about, but the one thing that Leicester should get through. They're playing Eindhoven. They're playing PSV. So they should get through. Roma are playing Bodo Glimt, who they lost to in the group stages, but they'll be playing them. So that'll be a good interesting tie. If those two win their ties, they will then play in the semifinals. So again, we're not going to get Leicester Roma final. We're going to get them. We're going to get them in the semifinal again. Like, and that literally could be whoever wins that tie wins the tournament. I think that one could very well be that one. So I think that will be another one that would be interesting to watch as well. Leicester against PSV, but PSV haven't really same inconsistently. Ajax are running away with it. So again, you should see Leicester pulling through and Roma pulling through to get the semifinals.
Absolutely, I think it's So I think for the Conference League, or it's pretty. I think Roma, as you said, Roma and Leicester will play in the semifinals. So whoever goes through that is going to basically win the Conference League here.
It should be. And I think Marseille are around somewhere there, but I don't think Marseille really have been that consistent either. But yeah, you would expect,
not at that level, I would say, but yeah.
Yeah, you would expect any team that's you'd expect Roma or Leicester to really be able to pull through that one. But let's just do a quick look here. The quarterfinals. And then the other one is basically either Marseille, Feyenoord, Slavia Prague, and PAOK from PAOK Salonika. I remember that one, but I think they call PAOK now. So from Greece, those are the 4 teams. So you'd expect Marseille to come out of that. And then you expect Marseille or Feyenoord, but I don't think either of them should really trouble Leicester or Roma too much.
No, it's not going to be that difficult then, I would say. But it'll be very interesting to see if
Leicester could win a European trophy. That would be something for Leicester to win a European trophy. And that will be probably
but they do bottle as well.
Sorry?
They do bottle as well. Like
they do, but they did win the FA Cup. So they have been okay in cups, right? So there is some experience there, and we'll see how that goes, right? With Rodgers is known to bottle in Europe, but he may have that experience, and so that may help them. But that's the only way I think to get European football next season. So they've got to try to win that competition so they can play in the Europa League next season. So
absolutely.
All right. On that note, Knayha, I think we kind of covered that. It's been a little bit of a muted reaction. You know what? It's one of those where sometimes when you feel right and you go, yeah, I was right, but I just feel sad that I was right. I don't know why. I feel sad that I was right in the Champions League.
I think it was you kind of you're feeling like I know so much.
I feel like it's like not that I know so much. I feel like I'm sad that I'm right because that means that the draws are rigged in a way, right? Like that's what they feel like. I mean, I've always known that the draws are rigged, but
you got proven right that there is an algorithm and you know that there's the science behind it, so you understand it, and now you can literally, you could bet on it in a way, and at least if you get one bet right, you could earn millions in a way as well.
So that could be the next business venture. There's a lot of business ideas that come along, but I don't know. But anyway, let's keep our fingers crossed. I mean, we'll see how these things play out. We'll of course be back when we do the reactions for those games. Once they happen, we'll probably do a reaction after that. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching the show. If you let us know your reaction, what game are you excited for? What game do you want to watch? Smash a like for UEFA's big draws, by the way. If you think the UEFA's draws are big, smash a like on the video. Always appreciate that. Please do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. If you are new, please help us with our support. And thank you everyone who saw. We actually had 2 episodes. It's actually a 3rd episode in like under 24 hours. So we've been quite busy this last 24 hours. So definitely, check out the other videos. I did a reaction on West Ham beating Sevilla. I thought that was an incredible result. Can't believe the Sevilla are not in the squad in the quarterfinals. But I remember saying that if there was a time to play Sevilla in the Europa League, it's before the quarters, because they never lose the quarters. So they have lost in the round of 16 before. So but still, fantastic achievement for West Ham. And obviously, so check out that video. We did another one on the Champions League games as well. So if you haven't watched that, do watch that. Thank you so much, Knayha, for joining me.
Pleasure. This is nice, and I'm happy that I'm with someone who knows the system better, who understands the algorithm.
I know the political side of it, right? Probably know the tactical side and the political side of how things work. But anyway,
yes, absolutely. But it's nice. But it's nice to get it right sometimes, because and then not kind of because we discussed about. I think the reason we have muted reaction is because we talked about it like 13 hours ago. And then we were almost like, this is what's going to happen. And when you get one right, you're like, oh, yeah, we knew this.
I predicted this as soon as the round of 16 draws were. And I was like, this is how things are going to go. I know which teams are going to go through. And this is what I knew back in the round. I'm not even bragging about this, but I knew this is December, right? The round of 16 happened in December. So I knew back in December what, how some of these things were going to pan out. So anyway, don't mean to pat myself. I think I am, but I don't mean to do it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day or night, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.